So I've got a number of books out, 6 in total, 4 poetry and 2 novels. My current pride and joy is this wonderful turquoise baby, published by a certain Dempsey Windle Publishing. It's called the Submerged Sea, and yeah, it's a sea-themed pamphlet. Sometimes it's a real sea, sometimes it's a metaphysical one, sometimes it's a metaphorical one, but it's all kind of sea. And I'm going to start with a poem about the British Sea. We're an island, we're surrounded by sea, everywhere is a coast. But not all seas and all coasts are the same. So this is Night Notes on Sea, British Coast. For these notes, taken down cautiously and in a whisper, we are talking British Sea, the chill and often fierce waters that encircle us. Elsewhere, the Maldives, Caribbean, Puerto Rico, the night sea glows and sparkles, flaunting its luminescence in alluring shades of blue and turquoise and skin-warm starry nights. In Britain, when night falls, the sea shuts down, fade to black, finito. In daylight, it's a tease, a changeable creature of moods and tantrums, twinkling with diamonds one moment, lashing the shore another. It's blue, it's green, it's brown, grey, slate, pewter, and all the shades in between. But at night, the lights go out, unless the coast provides them, and then it's unsubtle fairy lights, reflecting on the black sleekness that prowls beneath. The British Sea at night is black, nocturnal. It does not crave attention, just swallows the sun and lies there, waiting in the dark. And then you wonder why, and for what. I'm going to stick with the British coast for this one. This is a poem about a true event. Back in 2012 in May, a small crabber sailed out of Weymouth and then went down, all hands lost. So this is my take on that boat, which was called the Purbeck Isle. Grey stone, ash sky, slate-seamed sea. A coast made for calamities, stretching away back in time. Even on days of apparent calm, the land swells with the waves. Calloused by the wear of the tide, it heaves human flotsam onto drag-edged rocks like seaweed spread across shingle, drops in an ocean. Growing young families, men take to the water to end up caught in the sea's vast net. Not the harvest they sought when they went looking for crabs, but a salt-drenched spray of karmic irony, given local tales of lights in the night, proffering false hopes of a rock-safe passage, so jetsam could be gleaned from the broken wrecks, seaweed flesh culled for drops from the ocean. It is descendants of this dark lineage who trawl the sea off Portland Bill, looking for a crabber and her crew of 3, sailed out of Weymouth on a clear Thursday morning, never to make the journey home. 10 miles out, the skipper is found, floating dead like seaweed on the surface, but the Isle and her crew lie 50 metres down, drops lost deep in the ocean. So we're going to move from reality into myth. And if you're like me and you grew up on tales of myth and legend and fairy tale, you had Hans Christian Andersen's Little Mermaid. Not happiest of tales, but mermaids are kind of lovely. And then there's all the songs of the Lorelei and the sirens and the alluring women that lurk at sea. And then of course Disney came along and you get Disney's Little Mermaid, and we're now looking cute under the tail. I don't see the sea that way, particularly not after what we've been doing to it. By the time we've had oil slicks and the Torrey Canyon in '67, God knows how many more oil leaks since then, and now it's plastic. So I think what lurks in the sea is not Disney's Little Mermaid. This is the old man of the sea. Sing me no siren song, no tales of Lorelei, soft pink women, as slippery as fish, flexible as eels. They slide with an enticing flop out of wave-tossed dreams and into the waiting reality of sea, solid and grey as lead, reeking of ozone and beach seaweed. Waves roll with the punch of the wind, which has come a long way to get here, carrying memories of old deaths in its spume-flecked lungs. Oil slicks hunt for seabirds, flaunting false rainbows as bait, and factory-sized flotillas of waste circle the currents, having nothing better to do. The water heaves and heaves again, spewing up an old man, tentacle-haired and dripping, eyes dulled by depth, blind witness to fathoms, his breath hissing lost oceans. Barnacles cling to him like repeated lies, scraping roughly on the rocks as he drags himself forward, skin raw and mottled as an old trout. The tale that finally levers him forward, thrashing and gasping out of legend and onto dry land, is as broad and stubborn as a whale's. Do not approach him. He has questions he wants answered. So one of the things that kind of attracts me about the sea is its mutability, and therefore I love the areas of the coastline where sea is land and land is sea, particularly up around the northeast coast, up on the salt flats there. The salt and the sand stretches into water and becomes sea, but then you go back in the other way and you end up into the undulating dunes where the sand rolls with the waves, and it's neither one thing nor another. So this is located in that hinterland. It's called scattering. November. It should have been a day of fleeting mists and lost grey calls of passing geese. Instead, the sun hung solid gold on the hottest November day on record. We gathered beyond the edges of the salt flats, back from the sea where thorn bushes bob on the green wave roll of the earth. Poured from their urn, your mother's ashes swirled a brief pale cloud on the barely breeze before settling to rest on the short cropped grass. Geese shaped silent arrows across the upper blue, pointing to unseen destinations. Our final duties concluded, we flowed apart, separated by our own intentions for the moment. Penultimate poem. It's got a sea theme in it. It's also, I guess, about writing, because I'm told that the writers recognise the truth of their own words in it. And this is called The Flotilla of Lost Words. This is not quite as I meant to write, not just as I first had it, but as it matters to the moon. She pulled at my gut with her drawstring beams, and I followed, writing as she tutored. The surge of waters dragged in her wake, broke, over tumbling and turning the words I had prepared from their safe moorings. Now we are all over the shop with the never-ending slip, slop, slop of water still trying to suck on my toes, and my words floating away on little paper boats, each a small white flame sailing off to find the moon, where she floats in the moist dark sky above the sea. She takes my words the way she wants them. I think she planned it that way all along. There's a certain irony that I've just produced a pamphlet all about the sea, because I've basically always lived in landlocked counties. I'm originally from West London, what was the county of Middlesex, which is not known for its coastline. I then moved up to Hertfordshire, and not another seafaring county, it has to be said. And these days I live in Cambridgeshire, also kind of somewhat lacking a coastline. So I guess that's why the sea fascinates me, apart from the mutability and the changes it goes through, is the fact that, you know, the sea for me was treats and holidays when you went away in the summer. But there's one thing I've noticed, that wherever you live, be it where there is actually sea and a coastline, or whether it's firmly inland and on the west side of London, there are always seagulls. And it's like, should they actually be seagulls? Because you see them on rubbish tips. We've got a huge rubbish tip up at Impington, north of Cambridge, and it's covered in gulls. Living out in the countryside these days, you see a tractor ploughing up the brown soil, and there's flocks of gulls kind of following along in its wake. You go to the sea, yes, there are gulls on the sea. They're also along the pier nicking your chips or your ice cream. You're a Tory minister, I believe. So I'm kind of like, are they really seagulls? How do gulls see themselves? Have they become gulls of everything? Or if you're a gull, is everything just sea to you? So I'm going to end on my take, if you like, a gull's eye view of life. And it's called Gull. I am gull, a curved blade through yielding air. These wings clutch the seas of the world, bringing them to me. The wide shifting wetness, slate, blue, green, switching colours with my moods. Undulating rest, rocking me when my wings grow fresh power. The broad high sea of blue, grey, white, its plumage matching mine, soaring within its embrace on wings of wind, exalting me forward. Rich brown seas rolling beneath my wings, rippling with dark earth, churned offering by the pitiful flightless. And the storm-high waves of mottled votive food, piled for my delight and strength. I shriek with pleasure, my call ripping the air like beak through flesh, so all may know me as Gull, God of all seas.